smile big for the camera. So people know that I have teeth.
We have all of our teeth. When you sent me that text, I was so confused because I was like, where is this coming from?
I have no fucking idea.
And not like I've ever thought you had big teeth, but it's like I've never looked at your mouth. Like there was a rapper a few years ago that had a similar situation happen where like some photos of him came out kind of wild looking, and
it's funny. If anything, I do have pretty big teeth. Like
they're not bigger
small.
than average.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, yeah, but it's like they're nice, like they're well proportioned.
You got nice teeth, bro.
Yeah,
you got a nice smile.
Anyway, welcome to Collection again. This is Jake. Obviously, we're going over Jake's collection of dunks this time. Which last time, did we do any dunks in your first episode? I don't think so, because I wanted to specifically wait for this because it's just I didn't even know that it was the proportion it is now. Can you I'll hold your mic stand, you lift it up for me, because it's just, this is a crazy amount of yo-yos. Like this is
20
insane.
on each tray, so 2, 4, 6, 8,
and then
almost
so 90
yo-yos.
Yeah, you're not missing any. You're 100% sure that's all of them?
That's every single color of every single dunk, including prototypes and one-off.
That's so wild.
Yeah,
so probably like 80 or so different like
color variations. Yeah,
dude, that's insane for one person.
Yeah, it was very important to me to have one of each, and there's a couple that I literally only have one of each. Most of them I do have like an extra backup that I can play with.
That's sick.
But
have you sold 80 paintings yet?
Paintings?
Yeah.
Of
like just paintings in general?
Not recently, no.
Word. I mean, just overall. I guess you've been selling paintings.
Yeah. I used to sell a lot of paintings,
awesome.
but
cool.
Now I don't really. I just haven't been painting. I've been so into yo-yoing.
Yeah,
but
and especially
when I hustle hard at that, I do pretty good.
That's awesome. How old is the dunk now? 2 years?
It's 2020, so yeah, 2 years.
Are you going to do anything for the 3rd anniversary?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to time the rebound with the anniversary, but it was just a little late. It was April 1st, April Fool's Day 2020, that the original dunk came out. Slim came out in like July. I think I might have released it July 4th or something like that.
Same year? Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot how quickly all that happened.
It happened super quick. Yeah. We'll get into that, but
I was kind of like low key going through a breakup at the time, so I was just like, cool, selling a ton of yo-yos.
Yeah,
I'm in my feelings right now.
It happened fast, but so there's definitely something coming next year for the Slim though, because the Slim is probably one of my favorites, and I want to give it the Rebound reissue treatment. So
that's sick. Yeah, it's hard to gauge like a scale. Like when you sell records and they gauge, like if you go gold and sell 500,000 records or platinum and sell 1 million. I made a comment earlier today about his yo-yo, since he's sold over 1,000 dunks, about it being yo-yo design platinum, because 1,000 yo-yos is a lot. And I mean, it is granted over a couple different variations of the same model, but it's still a lot, like for not only one person, but for one like entity of because we've talked about I'm sorry. The
design, I think, just speaks for itself. Like, I think I was talking to guys over the weekend about it. I think Chris Toledo and some other people, it lends itself very well to variations, and it's a very agreeable yo-yo. Like most people who I've met very few people who like genuinely dislike the dunk. Like it's just a fun, nice shape. It's easy to play with. There's not too much you can really complain about.
Yeah.
And so I think it just works, and it caught on a little bit. And I think there's something fun about just doing variations on the same design, and the name is catchy, and everything just sort of fell into place and worked. So I've been very lucky in that sense.
And you sold a good amount off the jump, like the first drop of dunk. Like you've been selling a portion every drop, but it's like you've also done your due diligence as far as making sure people are aware. Like you do almost daily posts with it. You post daily on your story for sure, but like almost daily hard posts with it, so people are aware. So it's like you also did, your job as far as campaigning the yo-yo to make sure people knew that it was good. And
thank you. Yeah, because I really try hard to
no, I can
super hard to make sure I'm active with it, and also like I won't yo-yo on my Instagram with anything else, because like I always say, it's my dream yo-yo, so it doesn't make sense for me to be using anything else.
Yeah.
I play with other yo-yos day to day. Of course, I love variety. It's just everything in yo-yoing. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to be posting something or filming a serious trick, like
you get paid.
I'm using my yo-yo and I'm making sure people know I'm using it. And
that's fucking
it's just important to me because I'm really proud of it. So why would I do it any other way? You know,
it sounds so late stage capitalist of me, and I hate to even say it right now, but I love that your brain is almost thought that way. But it's because you made something that you're genuinely
I'm
proud
so
of.
proud of it.
Like, so
and
of course you're like, oh, let me record something, and you might be playing with the GoPro, but then you're like, wait, let me go up a dunk and do it. What were you saying?
The fact is, it helped me buy the house we're sitting in right now. Like it changed my life. So it's like a huge part of my life now, and it's very important to me, and its legacy is important, and I want to like make sure it has like people remember it 10 years from now, and it's not just like a yo-yo model that happened and is gone. I want people to still be talking about it even if I stop making them.
I'm trying to think of the amount of yo-yos that have had the expansion pack that you've done with Dunk, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I mean
Shutter, Supernova, Freehand.
Art sort of does that with their tweaking the Grail and tweaking the Dale. And
Art, I think, is more just that's their design aesthetic, though.
Yeah,
I think eventually you'll probably move on to a new yo-yo, but then you'll do a totally one-off. But I feel like you'll do a similar thing how you have with the Dunk, where it's like this is
probably. It's fun to do. It's a fun experiment to do variations on one design, I think.
I was trying to think about a way to verbalize it in the car where like artists will have like a certain aesthetic or a certain design or something that they'll just kind of make all different variations of. And like, you know, so many modern impressionist artists have done it, and like Cause does it now. And like, there's so many people that do it. Basically every artist does it. It's just having a concept. And it's like, do you feel like that's kind of what the Dunk is? Or
I never thought of it that way, but that's a cool way to think about it. Like Cause style, how he does the same variation of that character pretty much.
Yeah. Or Andy Warhol, how he did. I know that's like an insufferable comparison, but like
I never thought that deeply, to be honest, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike that comparison at all. Like that, it is very much, like I said, my dream yo-yo. So like everything about the shape of it is what I like in a yo-yo. And so it is like my aesthetic. I consider this this is the kind of yo-yo I like to yo-yo with.
And it hasn't seemed like work for you to promote it like a lot of other yo-yo players. When they get a pro model, even if they love it, it's like, oh, all right, I'll go make a video. All right, I'll post about it like you do.
I can't stress how much fun. Like, I will be like, oh man, like I'm on my phone too much today or whatever. But I have nothing to complain about. I really I love yo-yoing, and I feel so lucky that I get to have something that it sells itself for the most part, and I just have to be there. I just feel the need, like I said, to really push it and make sure people are aware of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like once people try it, generally they're like, oh, I want one of these, you know? So
yo-yoing is in that happy medium where people that can really reach out and touch creators. It impacts their purchasing where their dollar goes.
I answer every DM. I try to share every time someone shares a dunk on Instagram or a trick with a dunk. I always reshare it, and I always like thank them, and because it does, like, it affects like it's cool. I want to see people using it. Like,
yeah, user generated content I feel like is more valuable than ever.
It's so awesome
because everyone just makes their own shit now or does whatever the fuck they want. So like, you know, the fact that someone took time out of their day to like tag you and be like, oh, I'm using this product, and you're not Logan Paul and it's a drink or whatever it is. It's like,
no, it's the coolest feeling. It makes me feel so good every single time. And when people post their collections, like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say next.
That guy in Japan is unbelievable. He has the biggest collection in Japan.
How many years does he have? Like 50?
At least, yeah. I think
crazy. That's almost, you have 80.
He has almost every color. He's missing a few of the originals because, like I said, I only have like one black OG and one pink OG, and I think he needs those. Maybe, don't quote me on that, but he needs some of them that I wasn't able to give him. But I helped him a lot get his collection together. He bought direct from me and has been a huge support.
There's been a couple Supernova collectors over the years that I did that with, where they're just...
Yeah, it's such a cool feeling when it's like they latch on to your design and your yo-yo with your name on it and decide to have a case full of them. That's like the coolest feeling in the world.
Yeah, I used to always be like a very douchey 21, 22-year-old kid, and anytime I'd see a kid with a supernova in his case and a parent would be by, I'd be like, oh, thanks for your support.
Yeah,
Because like,
no,
it's
that's
a fucking expensive yo-yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I genuinely be like, yeah, I can't believe you have $600 of my yo-yo in your
Exactly.
case right now. And like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Do you like basketball? Where's the dunk name inspo come from? I feel like
that's a good question. I don't love it. My dad really loves basketball, so I grew up with it in the house and everything. But I really struggled to come up with a name. I was gonna call it the Buck Knuckle, which is a horrible name.
Well, yeah, that would have been awful.
As like a complete joke. Because I was into buckets at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a very funny name, but no one else thought it was funny.
I'm so glad that you spec'd that one out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next thing I came up with Buck Knuckle and I came up with Dunk.
Buck wouldn't have been bad. Like a name that's like kind of country-ish, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But it would have changed the whole perception of the yo-yo.
And I realize it's kind of corny that it's like named after a shoe pretty much.
No,
but
I don't think anyone looks at it.
That really wasn't my intention. It just sort of obviously shares the name with a very popular Nike shoe.
Yeah.
It's short. I wanted something short and just easy to write and easy to type and like catchy enough that I don't know. It just works. And I have a trick called Slam Dunk, for like an old 5A trick that I always really liked. So I sort of took a little bit from that. I'm like, this is going to be a 5A yo-yo was my original intention.
That makes sense.
So I was like, I have this trick Slam Dunk I like. I'll call it the Dunk. And it just works, I think.
No, it definitely works. And it has like a lot of cool variations to be able to use. Like
that came all after the fact. I didn't come up with that till after the first dunk came out. And then people were like, you got to do a slam dunk, bro. You got to do a dunk, everything. Just
the like imagery of basketball and iconography. It's very Americana. Like it's cool.
It's an awesome American sport.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Seth and I have been talking about that a lot lately because he wants to do a yo-yo project. Seth
hell yeah.
But he's like, oh, what should I call it? And blah, blah, blah. And like, he was pitching random names and some of them like made a lot of sense and some would just be off the wall and like made zero sense. I'm like, where did you get this one from? He'd be like, oh, like ever since I read this interview with Cause where he just said his name just looked cool with 4 letters together. And that's why he went with
4 letters. It's 4 letters. The Wave, Brian's Wave yo-yo.
Yeah,
great name.
Great. Solid boom, like you're in. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's great. So let's just call their brand Fuck.
Damn. Like the album.
Yeah.
What was the yo-yo you released made of stainless steel? The Quiz. Quiz was a great yo-yo name and the history behind it too is so cool.
Yeah, I need to do a better job at building out the ideas for yo-yo stuff like that. Like they're there. I mean, like
you have great names for
I just mean talking about them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Blogs and shit about them.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's start on your yo-yos then. Here, I'll stick this over here.
Yeah. So let's start with the 3 yo-yos. I took a photo of these 3 yo-yos. We got the Gully by Good Life.
Okay, which is the bimetal.
His first yo-yo.
Organic version. Did you paint this? I was
I
painted
why
it looked all weird and crusty on the edges. This is cool though. Damn, you played with it a lot.
It's the ano is actually wearing off on the body. I love that yo-yo so much.
It's awesome.
That was one of the first yo-yos I got when I came back in 2016. And I just love the bubbles on it. So you'll see the bubbles when we get to the dunk. This is the Cubit by Corco. The outer rim you can see is straight up pretty much a dunk outer rim.
I thought about that.
So I stole the rim of the Cubit.
But it's sized up and it's like different.
Yeah.
I never would have placed that. And it's got like a front face on
it. But it is like the same thickness and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it kind of gives it like a weird slimline feel, even though it's not.
Yeah.
It's same thing with this, where it like feels like the gap is skinnier than it is, but it's not because the rim is so thick. I don't know. It's awesome. And
the bubble then. So the dunk has a little bit of a bubble, sort of like the Gully, which is bubbly, which I really love. And then this, I didn't take much from the body of the dunk and tourney
what the fuck is
at all,
from?
but I wanted it to be stable, so that's just how I came across it stable, because it is a super stable yo-yo.
Yeah, this is a great
and it's
yo-yo.
one of the best 5A yo-yos ever made. Owen Ekblad's tourney.
That this isn't a more popular yo-yo.
I know. Tourney. It's so good. And it's durable. It's a durable bimetal design. I wanted durable and I wanted stable and I wanted good for 5A. So I gave that information along with photos of these 3 yo-yos to CJ. And this is what he came up
like
with.
the reference to the old Duncan.
So sick.
Jobs, the old
it's one of the
work,
coolest
like everything.
Duncans ever.
I played with this one a lot too. I can't believe how
played
much
the
you
shit
play
out of
with
that.
all your yo-yos. I haven't had a yo-yo look like this in like a decade.
When you play 5A, yeah, they get fucked up. But so this is the first proto we got.
And, oh, wow, really?
Yep. The first Dunk Proto.
It was green. I forgot that it was green.
I used it very briefly because it had snow tire pads.
Really? Wow.
I originally wanted it to have snow tires. And then I hit up Steve to sell me snow tires, and like he was like, it would have cost way too much. Like snow tires, there was like no wholesale. It was just like,
what? Really?
It was like, maybe there was a little, but it was just too much for me to spend at the time for my first yo-yo. So I was like, if I can't get pads for cheap enough, I'm just going to try 19 millimeter.
Yeah.
But this one's interesting. It plays well, and it holds silicone better because it's a thicker pad, which is cool. I kind of wanted something that could hold liquid silicone.
Is it silicone right now, or does it have?
That one has snow tires in it. I have a siliconed one somewhere.
Damn, this is awesome. I forgot that you were trying to do that for a while.
So I briefly used the green snow tire one, and then very quickly we just switched to 19 millimeter, and it played great.
Which is funny because like side by side, it is almost twice as thick, the snow tire pad.
Snow tires are very cool. It didn't work out, unfortunately. From like a business standpoint.
It looks like this, I guess because you played with it so much, just all the fine edges are worn off everywhere.
The other thing we did was this is a little sharper.
Okay.
So we did make it less sharp as well.
It's like literally a different yo-yo from this one to this one.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's literally a different yo-yo. Just that little bit. Damn, there's so many edges I've never seen on this before.
Yeah, it's an awesome design. So we had those 2 protos, and that led to... So that is every color of the first Dunk.
You did 20 different colors?
Well, I think I did 12 or 15 colors. And then some of these it was done over 2 runs. I forgot about that actually.
That's fine.
I think the first run was...
Same design, right?
Yep, same. Yeah, I think the first run was 250 and the second run was 300 maybe. Or maybe it was 200 and 300. But anyway, some cool ones in here. One of the like Oreo fade that everyone does. And then this tray is big because I have I decided I'm going to do half swaps when I made my yo-yo. So there's like this is the Winston one, the blue and gold, like the Yo-Yo Factory.
That one looks like a business. Yeah,
that's the business one, the Babezilla, the Eats It. So that sort of started the whole, how I do the, homage to Anti-Yo, and always do half swaps, at least some, with every release.
Was that something that you didn't intend to do originally?
I did intend to do the Anti-Yo colors, yeah. Flux, Eats It, and Babe. Cool. So, yeah, kind of a basic color palette. I didn't want to do any splash. I did the one fade, the Oreo fade thing. But that's it. All of the original Dunks were blasted. And I didn't talk about the white wall.
Yeah,
that's what I call the outer rim engraving. I just didn't want my name on the yo-yo. I didn't want any words on the yo-yo. So I decided on, that was another big part of the design aspect too that I asked for, was a thick rim that I could laser engrave white. I don't know exactly why I thought of that. It was definitely inspired by the old Superstars that Ando would paint the rims white. Because I thought that looked so cool on stage. And I always think it's neat when you're yo-yoing in front of like a black screen, like people do. It's cool when the yo-yo doesn't blend in and it has like a white to it that makes it look like a circle.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of like you're playing with a circle.
I thought it was more like not an homage or homage to Anti-Yo, but just influenced by them. How so many of their yo-yos just had strong insignias.
That too, yeah. The Flux had the concentric circles around the nipple. I thought about putting a circle in the flat hub area, but I decided against it, and I just went with this. And I thought that's something that could carry over between all the models and make it identifiable.
And it's cool how the more that you play with it, it gets kind of worn.
It does get faded. It starts really nice and crispy white, and then it gets like silver and scratched up, and I like the idea of things that age like that. Obviously, it's very cool. And you're the one who taught me that like you got to have some marking on your yo-yo, or else in years it's gonna be.
I went a little hard with
I always took it to heart, dude, because it's very true. Like, and granted, there's still gonna be people who don't have no clue what the fuck this is, but like someone, if they have resources,
right,
they're gonna be able to share this, and someone will be like, "That's a dunk," because it's very clearly. Marked.
Just some people definitely have taken offense to it and been like, oh, like
there's something to be said for a clean yo-yo, but it's true, dude. You see it on BST all the time. People are like, what is this yo-yo? I don't know what this is.
I also feel like that was just I don't know the exact terminology for it, but just like it wasn't until someone mentioned like, yeah, Tyler always brings that up, that like yo-yos in 5 years no one's gonna know what they are. Like, you never saw anyone say that until I started making fun of yo-yos that weren't, and then it's like, what is this, what is this, what is this? And it's like, what the fuck, like who cares?
No, I know, it's just it's something though.
Yeah, Seth and Spencer and a lot of guys back in the day used to love anti-yo designs because they said it looked like mid-century like houseware, like
mid-century modern shit,
mid-century modern, which is like how I feel about the white wall, where it looks like an old 50s bike tire, like
or a car tire. I really love,
and similar how to those with patina as well over time.
But yeah, there were some cool colors. This is a nice gold that I forgot about.
Nice gold. Yeah, that makes me want to make more yo-yos in gold, but
very basic looking back, like the colors I chose. But this was Magic Yo-Yo, and they do a great job. But I don't know. I didn't know it was my first time making the yo-yo, so I did my best. But I've definitely gotten better at the whole picking and designing the color palette. But
but
there's some cool ones in there.
Yeah.
For sure. The purple's nice too.
Yeah. It's one of those things that when you start out, you want to make things based on just your taste. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Only things you care about. And then very quickly you discover like everyone wants different stuff.
Yeah.
And like you can make basic stuff, but then you're going to like severely limit who's going to be interested in buying your yo-yos.
So that's the original dunk. And then
you did 20 different colorways across two runs, or
pretty much, counting the half swaps. There were 20. So then I was on a fly fishing trip in a cabin, and it was right after the dunk had released and it had pretty much sold out. And I was talking to Drew Tates, and we were talking about different ideas of like, oh, you could do a fixed axle dunk. You could do a 3D printed dunk.
Fixed axle dunk would be wild.
Yeah. And then he's like, or just do a slimline version of the dunk, like a chop shop dunk. And I was like, yeah, I'll call it the chop shop dunk, and that'll be sweet. And he's like, how about the slim dunk, like slam dunk, but slim dunk?
Yeah.
And so Drew Tates came up with that name, and I was like, that is so I remember I was on the toilet in this cabin. I'll never forget when I was texting Drew on the toilet, like about to go fishing. And then he's like, I barely had service. It was in upstate PA. And I was like, slim dunk. Okay. Just based on the name alone, that's so perfect. We're doing it. Texted CJ, like slim dunk, slimline dunk. Can you do that? And he did. And we only had to make one proto. And this is the proto. It's this really sick light blue.
That looks awesome. It's a cool colorway.
Yeah, it really is. I should have done this as one of the final colors, but I didn't.
Yeah,
they just picked this for me. Like,
oh, that's funny. I was gonna say it's cool that you started like flexing. Palette, but then you just said
nope. They just chose this, but it's very sick.
Sometimes they'll hit you with a random sick one like that. We're just like, oh fuck, like who's making this?
And it's literally just a chopped dunk. It has just a high wall instead of that little second bubble, but the rim is exactly the same.
Again, the shape looks so like mid-century modern, like we were just talking about.
So cool looking, the slim dunk. I think when it's just sitting on a desk or something, like it's an incredible,
the way that like the light catches all the different angles, like the way that it feels comfortable in your hand. You can use it for like responsive 1A or just like unresponsive dicking around.
Like chances are this is your favorite player's favorite iteration of the dunk. Most guys I talk to who are like real good at yo-yoing, they really like the slim dunk.
That's interesting.
Because it's like, it's different. There's not much like it. It's very really light.
Different, yeah.
And it's slimline, but it's not annoying. It's not like novelty slimline. It's very functionally slimline.
And you made it big enough that it's like playable all around, and it's not just like, like I'll pull this out when I'm going to the bar and I want something that I can fuck up. And it's like, no, this is like a fun yo-yo that you can just use it all
super playable.
And then this was the first yo-yo you kind of started making a lot of different colors of.
Yeah, so so I doubled the size of the run because I learned from the first one I can't be making 200 yo-yos at a time. I need to obviously be making more. So I'm pretty sure I ordered 400 off the bat.
Did you put the other tray over there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So here are all the Slim Dunks. Here's the other proto.
Got some Slim Jims wrapped up here.
Slim Jims, yeah. So I did a cool Halloween one.
Oh, wow.
Orange and black.
It's so pretty
I'll
seeing
explain
all the
these
colors together.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, this fade came out crazy. I decided I wanted to do like a Babezilla type fade, green and blue.
So close to like...
Yeah.
The green is like a more emerald green or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a straight up Babe too, which came out sick. These came out like shinier than the original Dunk.
Yeah.
And I had big ideas with this, what ended up the Nature series, which was...
So that like, it didn't confuse me. Like it makes sense for you because you're really into fishing and everything.
It worked out, but that was a save because the original idea was the green Nature series was going to be straight up camo. So I sent them a photo of a camo paintball gun.
Yeah. Like
true camo anno. And I was like, I want a camo Dunk. And they sent me a black and green splashed acid wash.
Christ.
And then I wanted the tortoise shell, classic Tom Coon. So I sent them multiple photos of tortoise shell.
Which
they
is
sent
like
me
kind of burnt
orange, acid wash. They sent me straight up black and red splash. And then the blue silver was going to be the CJ edition. And this is pretty much what he wanted, was a blue silver acid wash. So this one came as we wanted. And the other two, they kind of just phoned it in and sent me the shit. So I was like, I'm going to just abort that whole plan. It would have been sick, but I came up with, all right, water, fire, earth, it can be a cool. And I did a cool thing where I like dumped them in the water and like I put the fire one in my fire pit and like took cool photos.
Yeah.
And so I marketed them pretty well and they were the last ones to sell. But
you made it work, yeah, which is cool.
That was a big improvisation by me. But
when I was working at Yo-Yo Factory, I made my first pro model and we were thinking about calling it the Severe or not. Ben was like, or I was like, oh, what if we called it the Element? And Ben was like, oh, I like the Element X is like a yo-yo. Everyone likes it. Like, and it's funny because Yo-Yo Factory has since made a gentry yo-yo called the Element that like,
yeah, that's
no one
right.
said a word about because it's been 20 years since the Element X came out, but still a solid idea for the Element X didn't have anything to do with the elements, so to speak, but like solid idea for a yo-yo series.
Yeah, it worked out. And then the coolest edition, I got some raw Slim Dunks. And so since this became an Element edition, CJ needed his edition for the Whisper, which is his wrestling name. And we got these anodized, blasted, and engraved in the United States.
Pain in the ass.
And you can see they really messed this one up. That's the one I got.
Oh God.
It's supposed to look like that on the rim.
Yeah. That one looks kind of cool though. It doesn't look bad.
But the blast on it's very cool. You can feel it. But as they do in the States, they do a terrible job quality control and like
I remember you had to like
they just smashed a bunch of them. We had to hand buff the inside because they were cutting strings. They just like treat it like an industrial project and not like a fine art project. So, and that happens with everything with the nickel plater too. Like they don't really, you can't blame them. They're working hard on other shit. And there's like some dinky yo-yos show up and they have to fucking do shit with them. But it is annoying and it's hard to work with. There's a reason everything's overseas. I mean, it's just easier and it comes out better. So generally, unfortunately,
to making shit with like this finite of a detail, you know what I mean? And not like just toss and halves places.
But I think there's only 20 or 30 of these. So this is one of the rarer production Dunks out of the whole line.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
If anyone has a Whisper one, share in the comments because I'd be curious to know. CJ sold all these direct, so I don't know who ended up with them.
You've done a collab with CJ, Higby, Sean Thackeray, the unknown
Coffin.
Duncan, Coffin. What was the Coffin one? Just a purple one? Or?
Coffin did a painted. Ooh, I don't know if I have.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
Coffin.
He's still
flip, Beaver Chalk is polished. So
Yeah.
one,
I haven't actually released the Beaver Chuck as Paulus yet.
5, 6. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know if I'm still gonna if I have enough yo-yos left to do that, but I'll share with it anyway to
So
give.
it's like 5, 6 editions you've done.
That's and then I've done collabs with counterweights as well.
Oh, right.
So like that is honestly one of my favorite parts about owning a yo-yo company is getting to pay my friends who do like cool creative stuff like Higby and Sean Thackeray, who does the engravings and painting yo-yos and coffins paintings. Like I get to come to them with a bunch of yo-yos and be like, I will pay you straight up cash to do your thing on these. And then they sell out and it's a win-win for everyone. And it always feels really good doing collaborations like that.
Right.
Like it's the best part of it, honestly.
Yeah. And it's cool to see you like from the dunk to these kind of expand a little more with the concepts and then also the colorways. But
like you said, it was like 3-4 months between them. Like it happened so quick.
Yeah, that was
April to July
time, especially right during the pandemic where it's like,
they were
go ahead, sorry.
They were just cranking. I don't know how the timing with the pandemic, like, I think it affected sales in a positive way, probably.
Because you were literally one of the only people during that time cranking out yo-yos.
Yeah, and it was new, and it was like flavor of the week, and then people were bored at home, stuck at home. Right. They were getting checks from like the stimulus checks.
Yeah, so why not drop?
And it was $45 yo-yos too, which was very cheap at the time. I mean, like there were other companies doing $45 yo-yos, but not as many as now. Like it has really become, I think partially because of the dunk and other reasons, but it's become more common to see $45 to $50 mono metals like all over the place. And I that was by design. I wanted a very affordable, cheap yo-yo that people could easily buy with like no questions asked.
Yeah, it's really an interesting time in yo-yoing right around then because no one else was making anything and you just kept
the Kappa came out 2020 though. So I consider the Kappa. The throw spiral.
Oh, Kappa, right. Yes.
Which is like one of my favorite yo-yos. And I consider it like a cousin to the dunk because we swapped dunk for Kappa. And that was like one of the only new yo-yos beside dunks I got in 2020. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just so stoked on that yo-yo. And we have a collaboration coming soon. So I wanted to plug the Kappa by Throw Spiral.
That's sick. It's also crazy, like as a creator, to just have this kind of output over the course of 4 or 5 months, like you said, because like making a painting is one thing and you can like walk away and then just go back and work on it when you want to. And if you want to take a 6-month break or whatever, then you can. But like you making the yo-yo and then you spend all this fucking money and then like you're putting it out there and then you got to promote it and people are buying it. There's just a whole process to it. So it's a big undertaking.
It was insane. And I had no plan. Like you always say, like you couldn't believe what I was doing, but on the first run of dunks, I not only drew on every box, but I also wrote a message to each person.
That's awesome.
Like with their name, like the Eli guy who invented Eli hops. I wrote Eli hop on his box, not knowing it was that Eli. And then he hit me up. He's like, "Oh, you put my trick on the box. I love that." And I'm like, "No fucking way." Because I was just doing like puns on people's names.
Yeah.
So if it was Harry, I would write like with an I instead and draw like a hairy monster, like just stupid shit. But I was customizing each box to the person and I was doing them as the orders came in. Now I do all the boxes ahead of time. And then when the yo-yos come, I pack them all up and send them out. But I was doing one order, print it out, cut out the packing slip, draw the box, put the yo-yo in the box, pack the box, and like 400 times, like by myself.
Yeah. Over the course of 3.5, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
So I became manic at that time. And that's why this happened so quickly, probably because I was making money and also working my ass off. And then I was like, let's do this fucking slim dunk. It's perfect. It's perfect. And like, let's make it happen as soon as possible. Cause like people are still excited, but I'm out of dunks. Like we need to do this. And it happened so quick. And
it was just the timing. Crazy. I know I've said it like 3 times. So yeah, the timing was really just like something.
It was magical, man. It was perfect.
Magical is a great attitude.
It really was.
It's not like you intended it to be that way. You couldn't have ever been like,
it just so happened towards the end of 2019. I hit you up. I'm like, I'm tired of this, man. I want to make a yo-yo. Like I was tired of, there's nothing wrong. Anyone can make a yo-yo, but I like just yo-yos by guys who are real yo-yo players who are lifers like I am, like who've been in it and like you and I, you know what I mean? Like Curdy, like guys who really know how to yo-yo, in my experience, know how to make a good yo-yo.
Mrs. SF.
And I was like, why am I not? Yeah. Why am I not doing this? Like other people are making bank. They're selling like crazy G2 and everything. And like these guys aren't like yo-yo players. Like I'm a yo-yo player. I've never had a signature yo-yo. I want one. So I'm just going to do it myself. And you hooked me up with the whole process, helped me so much on like how to do it and what to ask for and what to look out for.
Yeah.
And hooked me up with CJ. So but that was just happened to be like 2019 for whatever reason. And then shit hit the fan and like, it just worked though.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of older yo-yoers are not really, they just don't think they have the same residual relevancy as they used to, you know what I mean? And it's like a lot of times people have been like waiting to buy something with their name on it, but it's just not available or it wasn't the right time. Or
clearly, I'm a great example, dude. I was gone for so long and I came back 2016. So I had 2 years to build my Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's not like you were going crazy.
I wasn't going nuts. Like I was very casually posting old tricks and like just trying to get the history aspect and like it happened to be pretty popular, but it's not by no means huge. I'm still not huge. I have 2,000 followers. Like,
but in yo-yoing, that's pretty big. And like when you have 2,000 organic followers, like it's crazy. If you like 1,000 people spending $1,000 is $1 million. You know what I mean? So it's like if you have 1,000 of those people that in the course of 5 years are willing to spend $1,000 with you, that's $1 million of an audience. That's like real because they've all spent, each one of those 2,000 people, or not all of them, but damn near a lot of them have spent money with you. You know what I mean? A lot of those 1,000 dunks have been repeat customers, but it's like
absolutely
at least 250, 300 of those people that follow you have spent hard earned money with you. And it's like, that's crazy to be able to like reach out and connect with that sort of customer. It's awesome.
It's really fun. I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't fun and felt good to do. So that's for sure. Cause it is work. Like it seems super easy, but it's work for sure.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up earlier that like, cause your output as a painter was crazy too. You did a lot of paintings, but like it's a different kind of creativity doing this than just the grind of posting every day. And like,
there's so much out of your control with this. With painting, you can control everything. With this,
the monotony of like, all right, now I got to pack up all these boxes. And I'm the one that chose to draw on them. So now I got to draw on all these boxes. And
I feel like a crazy person sometimes ordering 600 Chinese food boxes at a time and going literally through Sharpies, like running out of ink because I'm drawing on so many. But what people really like them. I've been told I should have the packaging as an example, but I've been told that's like the only packaging someone will keep. They'll be like, that's my only, that's the only one I keep. And I love hearing that. Like, that's really cool. Cause the whole idea behind it was I wanted something that I'm not going to throw away. The same idea that I don't include a string because I throw away every string that comes with the yo-yo. Cause I'm very picky about string. And I know not everyone's like that, but a lot of people, they throw their own string on the yo-yo.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if there's a way to like make a more permanent version of the Chinese food box that people can like repurpose. Cause like those are repurposable too, but not, it's paper. So it's like,
I know.
Have you seen those Balenciaga chip bags?
Yeah. Those are so sick.
That'd be cool to do something like that. But I feel like there's gotta be something available somewhere that like, or you could just buy like plastic ones, but then it's going to be hard to draw on. I've if you bought like plastic ones from China, you could probably, because it's just,
I could draw on it.
Yeah, like, you know, the plastic that like buy fold folders. Or
it has like a texture to it.
Yeah.
It could be drawn on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Plastic, paper.
Fire, like the guy was telling you about
And then the natural progression, everyone was expecting it. I held off for a while. I didn't want to, it didn't make sense to me to do a bimetal because it kind of goes against what the dunk is supposed to be. Just like a casual, fun 5A yo-yo.
Yeah.
But then I came up with an idea to do the rims where they are. My original idea was the rims were going to be twice as thick as this.
Oh, wow.
So like really fat, like SF style rims. Like statement style, and that just didn't work with the design. So CJ came up with this, which ended up looking really cool. I did not know it looked identical to a Yo-Yo Jam, Eric Klosky's, not Copperhead.
Diamondback.
Diamondback.
That's right. I forgot.
But it really is a Diamondback clone. But it's the dunk shape straight up with rims on
And
it.
it's probably much nicer than the Diamondback because those weren't the nicest quality yo-yos.
And the idea was to make a nice bimetal, but to make it still durable for 5A. So when you drop it, it doesn't hit the stainless steel rings at all. They're deep enough into the center of the body that it's safe. And also center weight, which is stability. Yeah.
Idea.
Center weight equals stability equals good for 5A as far as I'm concerned. I like a really stable yo-yo. So it served two purposes. And it also, we thinned up the white wall and made it really thin, which I think just looks like sporty and cool.
Yeah. It would have been hard to get the white wall to make with any sort or work with any sort of rim facing anywhere but inward as well. Because you can't see the white wall at the same time as you see the rims. So they don't clash at all. But if they were at all visible together, it'd be oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I don't know. It obviously plays leaps and bounds above the original dunk. It's really fucking good. I think it's CJ's favorite dunk. It's a lot of people's favorite just for the pure performance aspect. And this is the prototype. It was a cool aqua blue.
Yeah, I bet now that it has more, you're starting to do more wholesale. I bet more people would be interested in doing more.
We'll bring back the slam dunk.
Yeah, you could do another small run.
So this is every color slam dunk. We did some really cool gold rims. We did.
Yeah, I forgot how many different
the rainbow rims.
Holy cow.
And
that's great.
Yeah, the rainbow silver is sick. The black and orange. This is Andre's favorite.
That's sick. It's also cool that we did a bunch of colorways that other brands have done, but because the dunk looks so different, it looks nothing like. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a unique looking yo-yo.
Yeah, it's very unique the way this the light catches. That's amazing.
Glossy looking. Black. Yeah. So this is the first time the gloss was inspired by the Unparalleled Elevation, which is Patrick Canny's yo-yo. Mm-hmm. He released some gloss and some blasted, and I got one of the gloss ones, and I was like, this plays fucking amazing. So I knew I had to do some glossy ones. So this is the first time. I can't wait to do glossy slim dunks, but I love glossy yo-yos.
You're going to order some of those new slim versions in glossy?
In gloss, that's for awesome. Sure.
Yeah.
And
it's a cool version to do in glossy. Ooh, the all black.
We did an unknown edition, black on black, murdered out with the Slam Dunk logo as the Dunkin' Donuts logo flipped, which is just shout out to Brian, an incredible idea, and the donut on the other side.
But it also kind of resembles the Dunkin' Yo-Yos logo as well. I've always thought that was an interesting triple entendre kind of,
There's a lot going on. The dunk name just keeps on giving. I really enjoy it. There's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah. It's such a cool. It's interesting when people do the logo flips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a bunch that Trestley has done for me that don't make any sense to put on anything. So I haven't used them yet, but that's a cool one that intersects between yo-yo and food and something you're into and East Coast culture.
East Coast for sure.
It's just really cool,
Dunkin' Donuts everywhere.
Yeah. And it's on the all black, it's a black coffee or something.
Yeah, the packaging I was really proud of. It was coffee cups with black paper, shredded paper in it, coffee, and then the yo-yo in the coffee cup. And I did art around the entire coffee cup.
That's awesome.
And the little warm sleeve holder had art on it too.
Another one that I bet you could have gotten actual coffee cups and did some cool engravings on them or something.
Yeah, mugs.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Could probably be a merch item in the future. You could just get insulated mugs from China and then just engrave them yourself and sell them for $30
that would have been
a piece
smart.
on your Tumbler. No pun intended.
And this also was the first time with the Bapezilla edition. We did shout out Chris Deemy, a 3D printed counterweight that looks like a fishing bobber, and it had dunk engraved on it. And it was matching, and it was really fucking cool.
You didn't come up with the
I did not come up
idea
with it.
Thing? No?
Okay. No, that was all Chris.
I gotcha. And then this is the Higby edition too. Did you go?
Yeah, no. Higby did a painted one. He did several, and this is the one I kept and we sold. Yeah, it's so fucking cool. Yeah. Just his abstract character work, and it looks so good on the glossy. I think he did 10 of these, maybe only 6 of them.
God, it looks so good.
And they sold out immediately.
Reflects off the inside.
And I love that it's yellow on green, just like the freehand, my favorite freehand color, yellow green. But insane work. So I had 2 fun collaborations with this 3. I had the Unknown, I had the Higby, and I had the counterweight. So I was really starting to like hit my stride with doing more than just releasing the yo-yo. I had some more options.
Yeah. And then like you said, this is the like
This is more fully fleshed out
Right.
than the others for sure.
being able to do different colored rims and finishes, and it's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
it was a lot of fun. It was the most expensive to produce, obviously, and like, but it also sold really well.
Yeah, it seemed like the campaign was kind of never ending with them. I did remember you.
It went
ordering
on
a lot
longer.
of them,
I
but,
ordered
like,
a lot. I think 450, and
which is crazy.
took
but,
a long
like,
time. I still have some that I have one more project in mind with, but
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Escalar ones perhaps. But yeah, the Flux one, pink with black rings. I did some fun flips like that. This was the Eats It one was a straight up brown with
Oh.
silver. So instead of doing an actual half
Damn.
swap, I did, that.
Damn, that's awesome.
But yeah, slam dunk.
And there's a Bape one too.
Yeah, the Babezilla one
Yeah, this was like you said.
I
It's
did the
really
fade
fleshed
again.
out.
with the gold rims. Yeah, I put a lot of thought. It was so hard choosing 2 colors for each yo-yo, rim, and then also throwing in a new finish, the
yeah.
polished. I was like, I did a couple of the polished, like the green. I did a polished and blasted version of.
Yeah, that was another note that I was taking because of what I'm listening.
Because I just love green and gold. It just looks
It's a
so
great
good together.
colorway. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
You've
Mel
done
inspired.
raw versions. You've released like a little bit of raw, right?
Yeah, so we'll get into that at the end with the raw. I never got any raw original dunks. Those don't exist, or do they? Yes, they do. My bad. There was like maybe 5 or 10.
I think you sold them on your website at some point.
Yeah, I did because people got them anodized themselves, which was really cool.
Damn, that's awesome.
This one guy got an insane like cherry blossom
I
like
remember
tree.
that,
yeah. And then I got some raw slims, which I still have some. I haven't released them, but I got them nickel plated for the Nicky Slim, the Nicky Slim. And then I didn't get any raw slam dunks though. So
Yeah, you can't really coat it or refinish it after.
Yeah, 'cause of the
has
rings.
rims in place. And then you did bead blasted, obviously, the polished ones, and then the Beaver Chalkus polished ones, which you don't know if you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then powder coated, you did a few.
yeah,
of, right?
yeah. We'll
And
get to
then
the powder
nickel
coating.
plate, and then copper plate, and
Yep.
then the painted that Higby did.
Nickel, copper, and painted. Yeah.
And then
Coffin
you
did
did
paint it
some
too.
of those Sean Thackeray like engraved ones too. Damn, I
Engraved.
didn't even think of that. So that's almost like every single, save like Teflon coated or something.
Yeah.
Like you've covered a lot of different bases, It's crazy just again how much you've done with one platform of a design that companies are so hungry to be like, all right, let's make the next thing. And you're like, what can I do with this one design?
With
And,
selling
like,
them direct, you have to get creative too, because like I had 450 yo-yos sitting in my house. I have to really, some people are like annoyed when it's like, you don't release all the colors at once. Like what if something later comes out that I want more? And it's like, that's just the nature of the business. I can't help that. Like
yeah, right.
I have to release them in waves and in little groupings that make sense together. Because if I just dump them all at once, they just won't sell as well. Like
Right,
you release them. And so I usually you can figure out the pattern. I release like a base colorway set. Then I start releasing the anti-yo colorways. Then I release the special editions at the end. So
people
like,
are just sticklers. So like if they knew everything that was coming out, they wouldn't buy anything at first.
Exactly.
Like, all right, I'm gonna wait for the really good one that comes out
Mhm.
this week, and then that's the only week that would sell, and all the other weeks,
So I hate to do it, but it's just the way it is. And it's fun too. Like it's fun to come out with like, how am I going to release these in a fun, creative way that keeps people interested? And there's always something cooler coming. And that usually ends with like a nickel plated or a copper, like something really cool at the end. It's just fun. It's a fun way to release yo-yos.
I feel like it's not the most difficult yo-yo. Like the really difficult, like the CJ one and a couple others I know sold out in like just a few minutes or instantly or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. Like it's not, it's hard to get, but it's not impossible. And I feel like most of the time people who buy them no one's really buying them and like, oh, this is my end up yacht grail. Like they're not,
they end up on BST a lot.
Right,
And
like,
so you can get them. They're
there's a
easy
lot
to
in
collect.
circulation.
Yeah.
So, right.
Which I get excited when they're on BST.
It's cool, yeah.
'cause
Every time I see a resale on the BST, I like it or something.
Yeah, I'll like it or I'll share it sometimes because I know there's people, I get asked
want
for
them,
stuff all the time. So it's nice. I'm very grateful to anyone who collects dunks like that. Like that's the coolest thing.
No, it's super awesome.
So then there was a pretty long break, almost a year, I feel like. Well, I guess not. 6 months. I don't know. But I came up with the Rebound idea beginning of this year, I guess it was, or the end of 2021. And I just wanted to, my original plan, like I said earlier, was to release it on April 1st, just like the original, it would have been a 1 year or a 2 year anniversary of the original Dunk. But that didn't happen. It came out a little later. But I wanted to reissue the original Dunk because people were asking me for original Dunks and I didn't have any left. But I wanted to improve it somehow. I didn't want to do like a full revamp on the design. So we kept the same shape, but we did 70-75 aluminum instead of 60-65. And we did a D-bearing. We decided to try. And my thoughts on that were it might replicate my original idea of the snow tires. I wanted something a little more responsive, a little easier to bind, and a little more old school feeling. And so instead of snow tires, I figured D-bearing. Freshly Dirty's doing it. I have access to the pads. The new factory has the pads in stock. They've done Freshly Dirty's yo-yos. So it just worked out perfectly. We switched factories. We did this, and the quality on these is just like unbelievable compared to the original. The Rebound, if you haven't tried one, is just unbelievably worlds different and plays so fucking cool and huge hit. 400, they're sold out. They're on Yo-Yo Sam and Yo-Yo Expert still.
Yeah, this was the first run you started to wholesale a little more, which has been going.
First time I ever wholesaled was Rebound. So this is the proto, this dark green that I really wish I would have done as production because it looks fucking sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
yeah, wholesaling yo-yos is interesting because so many yo-yo manufacturers are really keen to like making all the money direct, which is really nice. But then like there's people who only buy from yo-yo retailers.
That's exactly why I did it. Because what you told me like that, basically, I was like, there's a whole market of people who just go on Yo-Yo Expert and Yo-Yo Sam and see what's new and decide to buy something. And I've seen that in action now because multiple people have hit me up and they're like, I saw your yo-yo on Yo-Yo Expert and then I found you on Instagram.
Yeah, you probably didn't even know you fucking existed.
They did not.
Then,
they just saw a cool looking yo-yo.
Bullock? Like, and then I don't know what the description on Yo-Yo Expert says. No. Like yo-yo industry legend, Jake Bullock.
It's just the coolest feeling though when they're like, I just saw your yo-yo and thought it looked cool and gave it a shot. Like that's even better to me than someone buying it because of me. Like that means it's standing alone, like, and doing what it's supposed to do.
It's like how people bought records back in the day based on the cover art.
Right.
Like, this one looks good.
So that's good. That means it still has an appealing look, 2 years later, because the way yo-yo design goes, it goes so quick.
Yeah.
The shape will be outdated eventually and I'll have to revamp it. But like it's holding up very well.
The first Kendrick Lamar album is still on the Billboard 200 after 10 years. So it's like, I think good timeless design it's timeless for a reason. You know what I mean? It's like, if you look at people who have like really upper echelon creative industry jobs, like people who are like creative directors or whatever, they all dress very basic, you know what I mean? Because that's like what's timeless, and it's like a black t-shirt and like a fucking Dickies jacket and some fucking cords or whatever are gonna like take you a very long way versus like a picture of you wearing whatever's something goofy right as hell. Yeah, you're gonna look crazy in 10 years, like you're gonna look dated as fuck. So
yeah, I hope the Dunk is timeless. I think it could be.
I think it is. Yeah. No, it definitely is. I mean, the fact that you've sold as many as you have and people are as interested as they are and you can continue to make as many iterations, I feel like that speaks for itself. Go ahead.
So I did 400 Rebounds and they were a lot more expensive just because of the 70-75, the new factory prices went up since the pandemic happened, everything. So I did less colors. But I was more refined with my palette and I got some really cool ones like this violet.
Yeah, that's
I think this olive is still in stock on Yo-Yo Sam somehow, which is crazy to me. This one is my favorite. And I got they came out beautiful.
It's funny how colors like that appeal to people like you and I or like just regular yo-yo players. Like the regular consumer yo-yoers will be like, yeah, it's olive, I don't like olive anything, and it's like, what the fuck? Like,
weirdly the most popular was this blurple, I called it, bluish purple,
which is crazy because like people
love this. It's sold out. If I made that, it wouldn't
probably sell very well just because like people don't typically love those in between colors. Right?
No,
like, is it blue?
I was shocked. I I 100% expected that one to sell last, but it sold so fast.
Is it orange? That's
and then
gorgeous,
this orange, you came up with a Fanta, I think. I called it the orange Fanta.
A good orange on a yo-yo, especially a 70, 75 yo-yo that
glossy,
pops. Like, yeah. There was like a few different
I think those are in stock on
they made.
Yeah, Superstars look so good. Glossy, dude.
They were orange like that. And it's just like, God damn. Like, I used to have to tell the anodizers, like, we want these orange. Like, do not make them gold. Like, leave them in there for an elongated period of time till it builds up enough to be orange.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because I think there's something about like the lights in certain anodizing factories that just like fucks up the yo-yo or something. So like it might look crazy dark in there and then under
it's hard to get a dark orange.
Wow. Like, because this is so perfect. If every yo-yo could be this orange, this would be like 100% perfect.
Yeah, it is. Orange is very tricky. You're absolutely right.
Is this brown?
That's the Yo-Yo Expert red edition, like a wine red. There is a brown, but it's blasted.
That's the one that you gifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like how many browns you do. I know that
I always will do a brown
an homage to anti-yo, but also like, I don't know, brown has just been a famously poor selling color. So the fact that you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And like every time it does well. And like,
people love the brown, man. The brown dunks. I've done it for every single iteration. People love the brown.
People love the brown, bro. They love the brown.
And also I did a bunch of raws that came out sick because of the 70-75 aluminum. And these sold really well too. They play totally different from the...
Do they really?
Yeah, they really do. You'll have to try one. Yeah. Super fun.
Debearing is so interesting. Like you really feel every single thing you do with the yo-yo.
Yeah.
It's like driving a manual stick shift car.
That's a great comparison.
Like, you have to be very almost zen like the car and like acutely aware of like where the RPMs
you can't be fucking around with the debearing. Exactly. Yeah, it's you're absolutely right.
You
it's
can, but you have to be experienced. You gotta know. You gotta be a yo-yo expert. You gotta you gotta be a sub above.
Exactly, Jersey Mike's baby. Let's get that sponsorship going.
There's a lot of powder coated ones in here.
So yeah, let me get through the rebounds real quick. We got the nickel rebound, which came out recently, sold out. Everyone loves it. Came out so good, especially again because it's 70-75. Like,
yeah, I wish people played with nickel yo-yos more so we could see patinas more often. But
and then they fucked up my quantities big time, the factory. So they sent me like 10 of these really cool Galaxy.
They look so awesome.
Yeah, just for free.
But it's also funny that they looked at the rest of your line like, you know what? He'd probably love Galaxy.
Yeah. No, they just threw them in a batch of whatever yo-yo factory yo-yos they were making. But there's only 10 of them. I call them the friends and family edition. CJ has one. I have one. And the collector I mentioned earlier, Nakchi, has one because has the biggest dunk collection in Japan. Anyone who has a huge dunk collection, I look through, my orders, who has spent the most, bought the most. I send them out as a gift to them.
That's wild. They look beautiful.
I have a couple left. If you have a huge dunk collection that I missed,
send me a picture.
Send me a DM, collection. Post a comment. But yeah, pretty cool. I thought it was a fun little happy accident.
Awesome, yeah.
So that people have something special in their collection as like a thank you.
The cool streetwear companies, those are like the coolest pieces. They're like the friends and family ones that now that only like 20 of existed back in the day and like only staff got or whatever. Those are the ones that people clamor for and they're like, oh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I want this. That one's pretty cool.
So this is a copper dunk. You can see it's peeling off the copper.
It's cool
It's still very cool, and these were great, but they were a nightmare. The bearing seats are a nightmare. The patina is amazing how quickly it gets patinaed. The coating is nice, but if you smash it up too much, it starts chipping off. I had a lot of B grades.
Spencer, where he got his done.
I need to because his look amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
No one complained about his chipping. And he beats the shit out of his.
I know. I'm really curious. I have to reach out to him.
He would give you the connects. Easy. It could also just be that his yo-yos were made in America, so they were like a little bit nicer.
I thought that might have something to do with it.
Because when I got those wets done at the nickel plating place, which if anyone wants to get nickel yo-yos done, just hit Jake or I up and we'll give you it's called
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
K&L plating. We'll tell you you're on live on it.
Lancaster, PA, dude, they do great work with the nickel. These came out so fucking beautiful.
This is a
nickel slim.
Nicky Slim.
Got the Nicky Slim and the Nicky Rebound. Both done by K&L.
Like a Steve Buscemi character.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're like an Italian mobster, Nicky Slim.
Slim.
Nicky Slim over here. So the nickel plated, some of my favorite. The copper. I'll have to revisit copper someday.
Don't hit them up if you just want to do one yo-yo.
No, don't be an asshole. Don't ruin this for us.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have said.
Maybe edit, beep it out. Honestly,
we're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do them a favor. And the people are gonna have 12-year-old kids.
They're gonna be like, never again. Then they're gonna get complaints.
Yeah, can I nickel plate my
Dropner?
my freehand too? I bought a freehand too.
So yeah, that's a timber dunk prototype. We wanted to do a wooden fixed axle dunk with timber.
This is awesome.
It's sick. It just never came to be.
You were trying to do like a multiple version.
Yeah, I wanted to do like a release. Yeah,
it's hard because
he's busy as hell.
Fuck, yeah, and it's like it takes so much work to make these yo-yos.
Insane.
And
yeah.
Even if they sell incredibly well, it doesn't matter because like he makes custom build furniture that is 20 times more expensive and takes, a tenth of the amount of work.
But I'm just grateful he made me one for my collection.
Yeah, that's
at least.
awesome.
I have a wooden dunk. It's beautiful.
I've wanted to do like a skateboard yo-yo with him for years now, and I have all the skate shit ready to go. I think I finally found a wood turner to do it with, but I've wanted to do it forever with him, and he's just so busy. It's like I've literally offered to like glue up the timber for him. Like I peeled off all the grip tape. Like I made it as easy as possible for any person that can turn the halves for me to do it, but.
Shout out Sean Thackeray. Here's some of his amazing engraving work on an original dunk.
That one's super tight, like how tiny the engraving is.
Yeah, he really went hard on that one. I love his work. Here's another Higby. This one's sick because of it says type, slim dunk on it, and the other side's just like abstract. Wild. I love Higby's artwork. And then I got a ton powder coated by
I'm super
Yo-Yo
jealous.
Spirit. What's his name?
Wesley
Chung. Amazing. This one's like white and gold. This one's glow in the dark, dude. So nasty.
Damn. Is it like kind of textured?
Yeah. Or maybe that's the glow in the dark one.
Yeah, this is
I think they both.
Yeah. Maybe they both do, yeah. The eggshell is so dope.
Eggshell is sick.
He's so good
at
everything I do. I can't not.
This white with silver hubs is insane. It looks like an old
oh my
Duncan wheels. It feels so good.
How does he get it as smooth?
I know. Here's a straight up Wesley Chung polished original dunk. Just straight up mirror polish the whole thing.
Damn. This looks like a raw one that like, oh my God, I can't believe this is so shiny.
Yeah,
you really got a whole charcuterie board here.
I kept one of each, but I donated a bunch of the powder coated to different contests for prizes, and also the scales.
What? Dude, that is way too nice of you.
Yeah,
holy shit.
It was a big contest. It was like some European Czech national or something weird. And then
no one's gonna appreciate. They're gonna sell it for like $70 or whatever.
But the others I did donate like scales.
That's cool.
When they did their big BLM during that time.
Yeah.
And then also I did one straight up a raffle myself that sold for like $250, a glow in the dark one. And all that money went to a charity of their choosing during during that, whole thing. Cool. So I tried to make good with these nice ones. Make them really special.
Damn, the golden.
And he's doing my slims right now. Finally, I sent him slim dunks when the slim dunks came out, and he's doing them as we speak. So
yeah, I saw
I'll have
him.
some really. He has that sparkly one he did, black with rainbow.
Cool ones,
He's doing neon green and pink that glow under blacklight. This new one he just got. It's gonna look so fucking.
Dude,
cool.
you should just learn how to powder coat because like
I would love to.
People just get a.
I would absolutely love to.
Get an oven, put it out.
Hey, Bubba, you want to say hello? Hey.
Farrell got caught in a bag of mine earlier. We almost had to do emergency kitty surgery. I want to pet you so bad, but you don't like stranger pets.
You're such a mean guy to strangers. He'll get to know you eventually one day. Oh, and then this one is really sick. Rebound. This is by Bever Chaku, who is like an old school name you might recognize, maybe not, but he was on the boards, and he's a really nice guy, and it looks like a yo-yo jam. He just polishes the outer rim and nothing else.
That looks awesome.
And
is that how you say his name?
Beaver Chaku, Bever Chaku. I'm not really sure.
I mean, it makes sense because he does like nunchucks.
Yeah, so. Nunchaku. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry, dude.
Not to you, to anyone who plays nunchaku.
Super cool.
That is super cool.
I love those. And then we got, of course, the titanium dunk that is coming. That's for pre-sale right now and coming soon. And
check out jakebullockart.com. The link
that's
will
where
be
you
in the
can,
bio, obviously.
yeah,
of
this one I
video.
torched very badly, but
No, that looks
it
great.
looks pretty
dude.
wild.
It looks fucking awesome. What are you talking about? This looks insane.
Yeah, blue and rainbow.
Yeah.
It's just not like pro torched like the guys do who know what they're doing, but it's
It
kind of
looks
like
cool,
it just
though.
looks patinaed, which I like.
Yeah.
The
it
ugly
looks
look.
so interesting. Like you said, it just looks real rugged and like
Yeah.
different. And like if you're playing 5A with it anyway, it's gonna get fucked up.
Exactly. So you can torch them, you can do whatever you want, but they're super clean. These things play incredible.
This makes me want to get a titanium first base, just prototypes made for me.
It'd be so sick, dude. Titanium is something special, like just the noise it makes while you're playing with it. The performance on these are insane. Like everyone who tried it at Chesapeake last weekend was doing all their. It's less casual than the other dunk models. It's more in line with the slam dunk. It's incredibly performance oriented. It spins fucking forever.
But it's also casual too. Like
It
you
is.
can just kind of dick around with it, and it doesn't. It's just outperforms its mono metal.
Absolutely,
brother.
it really does, and it's beautiful. It's like my favorite.
And a cool part about this titanium, which I think we might see a lot more of in the future now, and it's very easy to install those afterpay apps on websites. Is
Yeah.
like the payment plan with the dunk, which is like
Thank you. That's been a big hit. People have been thanking
that's
me.
awesome. Yeah, so many people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, sorry. I don't want I don't have $300 laying around to buy a yo-yo, so I get it. It's a big ask.
It's so hard
a
to
huge
justify,
investment.
yeah.
So hard to justify.
Jake and I were talking last night about the freehand MG and how much we both want to buy one, and it's like
I can't.
but we have
It's-
so many other expenses that $400 for a yo-yo is just insane that we have. You literally have 100 other yo-yos.
But honestly,
right
yeah, if I could payment plan that, I probably would.
you
Because
can on the site. Did you see that?
Oh,
it's
really?
Like $100 a month. Yeah,
I
they're
should-
still in stock.
Yeah, I might
I
do
thought
it.
about it today once I saw it. I was like,
Because
well,
it hurts a lot less. So if you want a
You
payment
were the
plan,
first, bud. You were the first.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
they copied me. What the hell, Brian?
Yeah,
No.
fuck you, bro.
I don't have the cool payment plan through the website because I have shitty Squarespace. And
No, I mean, it's available on Squarespace. We tried to look it up or whatever.
yeah,
It's cool that you're offering it to people regardless.
yeah. You just shoot me a DM. It's $100 down. That's just make sure you're serious, cover the costs.
But yeah, the payment plan with the tie dunk is a very cool idea that I think, with all the websites that offer these financing options, it'll be a cool thing in the future to see with titanium yo-yos. And
Absolutely,
It's
I think it makes
interesting.
sense. Like I
Yeah.
said, no one has that money. I mean, some people do, but most people don't.
it's funny how many people do, especially
Yeah.
how many people are into yo-yo, because so many of them are like,
Computer wizards.
or they're like earlier stages in life, so they're living at home and
Mhm.
they just like are saving a lot of money and like, or that's like the only thing that they're into, so they spend a lot of money on it. I don't know. I always think the same thing though. Every time someone releases a run of titanium yo-yos, I'm like, how the fuck are this many people buying titanium yo-yos? Like, because it's an interesting feeling. Like I get that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no one's really treating them like, like a Rolex is like an heirloom watch, and it's like, oh, I can pass this down to my kid or whatever. It's just like, oh, it's like this fun thing that I like. It's just different than all the other ones. Like the coolest thing, or not even the coolest thing, but the only selling point other than the fact that you can make it super thin is like, oh, it sparks.
Mhm.
Like, and that's the junk science he tries to use with it. It's like, oh, we can get interesting weight distribution with it because of how sturdy of a metal it is.
It's just different. It plays different.
Literally make the same shapes that they make monometals out of, just a titanium one. It's
It
kinda
happens to be expensive as fuck, but it's different. It plays
funny.
different.
It is cool though.
It's not like the original dunk whatsoever.
No.
Other than the shape. The performance is leaps and bounds above. And
I'm impressed every time I play with a titanium yo-yo. It's just, I don't know.
there's something about it that's pretty fun for me. I only own one, the Duality, and this was designed by the same guy, the Danny Yu. Shout out Danny. He did a great job with this.
But Jake's payment plan, unlike other ones, is not going to automatically charge you. He's just
Nope.
kind of like, I don't want to say letting it fly, but like he's letting it go for extended, however long
you need, I will work with you.
finance your titanium dunk.
I'm not going to be hitting you up for payments at all. You hit me up when you have money you want to throw at it, and you'll be that much closer to owning it, and you can take as long as you need. I'm happy to work with anyone. Just shoot me a DM. I think.
Is that how it's going to work? You're going to hold
I'm
on
doing
to
it through. Yeah, I'm holding it. So you do the 100 down. I order the yo-yos, and then once you hit that 300, or if you're doing
okay, that makes more sense. All right.
then I send out. Yeah, I'm not,
No, that would be crazy just to send it out like that. That would
No, I
be
can't
wild.
do that. But
No, it's still a great option though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause it's people want the yo-yo. Like,
I want to help people get it if they want it.
right.
I want to give a quick shout out to Deadhead Designs on Instagram. It's Dead with just an E, no A.
DEDH.
Yeah, DEDHED. And he did a great job with these counterweights that I included with the nickel dunks. They're like a 20-sided die, beautiful epoxy cast, 3D printed. And I just wanted to shout him out. Check him out. He's making his own counterweights, and they're incredible. They're very sculptural. And
They're next level, really.
They're really,
get
really
some
cool.
ceramic plated, and like they're kind of insane. Yeah, he started following me the other day on Instagram, and it really shocked me because there's like a really famous Deadhead that goes by Deadhead on Instagram. So I was like,
damn.
what the fuck? Like, why is this guy following me? I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's the guy who makes counterweights. Cool.
Yeah. No, he rocks. I wanted to give him a shout out. Give him a
that's
follow.
awesome. Yeah, I see Yotrix just picked up a bunch of his counterweights. I'm sure that all the stores will follow suit very soon. But
If all goes well, he'll be doing the counterweights for the titanium dunk as well. So we'll have something really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully they're
made up.
actually 3D printed, like you said, and they're not all cast, because that would be such a pain in the dick to
Yeah.
individually cast all those over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, we got some ideas. So it's going to be cool. So titanium dunk, jakebullockart.com. Check it out.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to cover for your app? Totally forgot about some of them, like all the wooden dunk and
Yeah.
just how many different. I can't believe how much ground you've covered with one design. It's kind of crazy.
Like I said, you can expect a slim rebound next year sometime if all goes well. I really want to give that the 70-75 treatment and the debearing. I think the debearing and the slim dunk.
You said it was
really,
70-76 or 70-75?
It's a good question.
Just depends.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Because they do feel different, to be honest. The one does feel like 70-68.
I'm pretty sure 70-75 is what the rebound is.
Yeah,
I'm quite
that's
certain.
definitely what it is. Yeah, because 70-68 is like, you can just feel how dense it is. It feels not quite like titanium. Like it's still, I don't know. Like the more that you play with yo-yos, this is going to sound really like junk science. You can almost feel how pure certain metals are. You know what I mean? Like when you play with yo-yos from different shops, and like, you know that they source better alloys of material.
Absolutely.
It's like, obviously, like it plays different. It's not like a placebo effect. One feels fuller than the other. And it just a slight hairiness fuller than 70-75, 70-68.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, you should try it if you know anyone that has a 70-68 yo-yo. It was popular for a couple of years, but like, again, it's super durable for no reason, because no one's smashing their yo-yos into the ground. They try to market it as like a 5/8 material, but no one was really
the throw
with that.
spiral collab I mentioned earlier will be 70-68. So
okay, those
I'll
are
get
two
to
different
try it.
yo-yos we're talking about, or
no, the one I mentioned earlier, the one I was talking about.
But the
with
other
you.
slim one you just mentioned is different.
No, the slim
Rebound
one
will
70.
just be-
Oh yes, the slim rebound will just be a reissue of the
Oh, okay,
original
yeah,
slim.
yeah.
Yep.
I gotcha.
So a debearing.
Yeah, you should definitely do that in some premium metal.
Absolutely. I think
It's just
gonna
more
be,
worth it. Like
It is.
People will pay the little bit extra, even if they have to wait a little longer. Just plan out what colorway they get instead of getting 2 or 3 yo-yos. Get one really nice one, and
Yep.
it'll last a lot longer. It's crazy how much you messed up. That not like you.
Yeah,
how
no.
much you dropped
I
it. And
smashed the shit
it
out
was
of the.
perfect. Like when we tried it,
And I'm
that
doing
one
it
day,
with the
it's-
titaniums too. I'm throwing them in the air, and you'll see on my stories. Like I'm messing and making sure I put it through real testing,
It's
which I'd love
rigorous.
to see more companies do. It's fun. It's fun to watch. See shit
Yeah.
get smashed up.
Ben used to do that at Yo-Yo Factory, just when we get like a new plastic or something, just
Yeah.
immediately take it outside and like throw it as high as he could in the air just to see like, how does this one break? Like,
And speaking of plastic, everyone's asking me about it. So there is some plans in the works for some sort of plastic dunk project. So
awesome.
I'm really
that's
excited for that.
Quite the undertaking.
It's
I
going to
know
be
it's
insane.
gonna
I'm
be
not looking
injection
forward
molded,
to
but
the.
it's
Yeah, it's not injection molded. It'll be machined, but
still
still
crazy. Yeah.
It's going to be really nuts if we do it the way we want to do it.
Just a one-sided design. You got to design more guts. You
Yep.
got to take more things into account. There's less color options sometimes.
There will be headaches, but it'll be worth it in the end. So
I have some plastic yo-yos sitting in the bay too that I need to pull the trigger
hell yeah,
on.
dude. I'm excited for more.
But awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for talking to me, dude.
Try to
This
get
was
these
fun
cleaned
to
up.
get it all out there. Yeah, I got my drawer over there. I was slipping
Oh,
it.
that's right. You got a
But
nice
we
little
can pull
filing
off these and
cabinet.
get some close-ups. These are where all the good ones are. So
Sweet.
hell yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Awesome.